the newly updated Scalar 2.7 inside of Loopy Pro. Hey everybody, this is Jeff Yenser, CreativeMusicGenius.com. Thanks for watching today, and we're going to explore this live sync feature inside of Scalar 2, which is inside of Loopy Pro, which is all of which are really cool apps. And you can see I got a chord progression going down here, and see over here it's flashing leader. Okay, so let's bring up a second instance of Scalar, and you can see it says follow over there, and if I bring up the third instance, it says follow, and you'll notice they all have the same chord progression. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add one more instance of Scalar. Okay, come down here to the plus button. Now I'm going to do it by clicking Add MIDI. There's multiple ways of getting Scalar in here, but I'm going to use this method right here, Add MIDI. Scroll down till I see Scalar 2, and you got a couple, and you got the control over here and regular Scalar 2, which I'm going to choose, and it comes up here way on the end, so I'm going to drag it over next to the other ones. I'm going to pop it up here, and I'm going to add a destination, which is going to be MU Waverly. Okay, and so I'm going to open this up. Let's maximize it. You can see it's blank right now, so it's not following, it's not part of the live sync scene. But if we come up here and click on this S in the upper left, go to sync, and we've got an option here to follow live sync. I'm going to just go ahead and click that, and you'll notice all of a sudden my chord progression, the same one that's in all other three instances, is now there. Okay, so I'm going to pause and restart, and now you'll hear this one. Okay, let me turn it up some so you can. Okay, so that is the new instance, right? Playing that mood units, MU Waverly. Okay, now let's open it up, and what we can do here is we can go to performance if we want to change this up. We can alter the performance without changing anything in the other instances. How about an arpeggio? Up, down. See how nice that sounds? Let's turn it back up again so you can really hear. That's the new instance of Scalar 2.7. Synced it right up. The live sync mode makes it so much easier and so much quicker to create chord progressions, to work with chord progressions, right? So let me just pause that up for a minute. Go into the first one. All right, and you can see this is the leader indeed. So if I come up here and I go to sync, right, it says, see, I already had this started. I already had this project set up and ready, so you didn't have to sit through every detail. But you can see it, if I stop live sync, okay, you can see that the very bottom option here, I can turn it back on here, live sync, and what it's going to sync is the progression builder, which is section C, okay, the chords, the voicings, and the timings. All right, so basically my chord progression and how it's played is what's going to sync up. So if I turn that back on, now I can go back and start live sync again. Okay, and everything sync back up again. And this is the leader, right? So if I make a change, say I click on this chord and click suggest, I got A major 7 there now. If I change it to an F sharp minor, okay, now I go to any one of my other instances, you'll see it's changed. Okay, I'm back. I just had to take a brief break because this was throwing me off. You see how that says F#/G flat minor? Okay, this is instance 4, the one I just added. And if you go back to the original, the leader, okay, it says F# minor, the chord I just changed, right? So, but coming to find out, after thinking about it for 2 seconds, that F# and G flat are the same chord, right? It's just 2 different names for the exact same set of notes, okay? So you can see how that changed, and let's see if I have any luck, if I can change it back. Let's just take a regular A major and stick it in there. Okay, so we changed the leader, right? And then if we go back to number 4, you can see that that's changing. This time it just says A major, right? But the other chords are, you know, they got the 2 chord names right there. So don't let that confuse you, as it just confused me here in the middle of the video. So let's live sync. This is section C. Like I said, this is your chord progression, so it's synchronizing. Any change you make in the leader will show up here. Now if I made a change in the follower, it would take it out of live sync. The follower would stop flashing, but I don't want to do that, because most people, if you're building a chord progression, you want all the instruments playing the same chords. But you're free to change the performance. In a lot of these other settings up here, you can switch around without messing up the sync, right? Because you would normally want each instance to do a different type of performance, you know, right? You might want an arpeggio in one, you might want a straight chord in another, you might want some strumming in another one, right? So it allows you to change all that individually without synchronizing all those components, right? So I just want to back up, show you how I got started. You can see right there, 80s number 9, right? As I started out with that chord progression, right, given to me by Scalar, highlighted it all, dragged it down into pattern 1 here. Then I picked a different 80s progression and I dragged that down into pattern 2. So that's how I came up with those chords. Scalar is a great way of generating original music, right? And music that you can jam out with. And just take one more look up here at the live sync, right? One more thing that I wanted to point out. If I stop the live sync, you notice that all these other options do reappear. So you still have the old way of synchronizing, where you can pick and choose what's synchronized, but then you have to sync it manually. You have to go in each time to synchronize it, whereas live sync updates on the fly your chord progression to give you, it makes it a lot easier from a creative standpoint, saves you some steps, saves you some effort, right? And there it is, right inside Loopy Pro, 4 instances of Scalar 2.7. Going to my various synthesizers here, you can see Beat Hawk has crashed. It does that quite often. But there it is back, providing my string sound, right? I got Synth Master 2 up in here. I got Groove Rider playing my bass, right? So it's just a matter of throwing your instrument in here. In each instance, you can pick and choose your instruments. You can build it up, multiple parts. You can play along. I got the drums here. I think I used Groovebox to create these drum loops, exported them into Loopy Pro. I got the timeline. See, I got the timeline on loop mode. And I got the drums just looping back and forth to give it a little variety. I've got the same loop length here, 8 bars. No, wait, 16. 8 bars here, 8 bars here, 8 bars here. Gives me 16 bars of drums. And on Loopy Pro, I got 8 bars in pattern 1, 8 bars in pattern 2. Okay, So that's Live Sync in a nutshell. I would love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear your creations. Be sure to visit creativemusicgenius.com and hit the tip jar. We appreciate everything you can do, or the donate button, the tip jar, or the donate button on the website. We appreciate all your help and your financial support. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.